A Serious Man may be the most complex movie of the Coen brothers' career, and that's saying a lot, but an ending like the one in this film can be picked apart for decades. The Coen brothers have a filmography filled with movies that could all be nominated as their best, and nearly every one would have a claim to the title. So to call A Serious Man their best movie is as unnecessary as it is impossible to prove. However, it's hard to deny what a feat of filmmaking and storytelling their bizarre 2009 black comedy drama is. Here, the Coens combine themes they have touched on in nearly every previous film. There are major Jewish issues and matters raised in the movie, nihilism and bleakness are central, and the unrelenting passage of time and inevitability of death are also major factors. There are also mystical and unbelievable elements of A Serious Man, moments that at first seem normal only to devolve, or evolve, into something unnatural or impossible. The grimly hilarious film takes Larry Gopnik, Michael Stuhlbarg, down a slippery slope of despair, punctuated by one of the best movie endings of the century. Arthur is despondent about his charges. Larry learns his brother is accused of sodomy and soliciting. Arthur, Richard Kind, getting arrested in A Serious Man. Larry's brother, Arthur, Richard Kind, is a hilarious addition to A Serious Man. He moves in with Larry's family, having no job prospects, and filing his time with the Mentaculua, a notebook of strange drawings that he thinks could be a probability map for the universe. Between taking forever in the bathroom and his sleep apnea mask, Arthur is the quintessential annoying uncle whose very presence is enough to drive his niece and nephew crazy. However, late in the film, something happens to Arthur that paints the man in a much more despondent light. Police show up at Larry's home with Arthur in handcuffs, and they explain to the confused Larry that Arthur is being charged with illegal gambling, solicitation, and sodomy. It's with this reveal that the idyllic 60s suburban setting gets a bit more unnerving. Arthur is a Jewish criminal, suspected of being gay, and he's being yanked around by white, Christian-looking cops in the middle of America. The suggestions of police brutality and homophobia are hard to ignore. When Arthur and Larry are thrown out of Larry's house, Arthur breaks down in the motel pool, crying out to God and Larry, feeling like he's been treated unfairly all his life. He points to Larry as the lucky one, something Larry is astounded to hear. Later, Larry has a dream that he helps his brother escape to Canada, only for his neighbors to shoot Arthur dead. He awakes in a sweat. Cy Abelman dies in a car crash. Cy is called A Serious Man. Cy, Fred Melamed, hugging Larry, Michael Stuhlbarg, in A Serious Man. Cy Abelman. Various people ask Larry to repeat throughout A Serious Man when he reveals who his wife is leaving him for. Cy Abelman, Fred Melamed, is a professor at the same college Larry teaches at, and instead of being a brash, rude adulterer, Cy is sickeningly kind, wrapping Larry in a big hug when he first meets him. One of Melamed's best moments comes when he and Larry's wife, Judith, Sari Lennick, gently tell Larry that it would make the most sense for Larry to move out. Why that makes the most sense for Larry is left unsaid. Sy and Larry both get in simultaneous car crashes at the end of A Serious Man, and while Larry is no worse for wear, Cy dies. For a reason unbeknownst to Larry, he is coerced into paying for Cy's funeral by a sobbing Judith. At Cy's funeral, he is recognized as A Serious Man. It's the only mention of the title in the whole movie. Danny's bar mitzvah goes well and he meets Rabbi Marshak. Larry and Judith reconcile. Rabbi Marshak, Alan Mandel, sitting at his desk in A Serious Man 2. Larry's son, Danny, Aaron Wolf, has spent the movie preparing for his bar mitzvah, but he mostly smokes weed, watches TV, and avoids his intimidating bully, Mike Fagel, John Kominski Jr., who wants the $20 he's owed. Before his bar mitzvah, Danny smokes a lot of marijuana in the bathroom, so much that when he walks up to recite the Torah, the Coens film with a fisheye that produces an anxious feeling that anyone who has been under the influence of marijuana will recognize. Just when it seems like Danny is going to pass out, he places down the yad and reads his passage perfectly, much to everyone's relief. It's one of the few things that goes right in A Serious Man, and it leads to some more wins for Larry. His wife apologizes to him and says Cy wrote him a letter of recommendation for tenure. Larry smiles as the still high Danny goes to have a one-on-one meeting with the mysterious and seldom seen Rabbi Marshak. The ancient rabbi stares at Danny before slowly saying,